Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Gavin Sandell. Well, we've got just over a month and a half until this year's Atlantic hurricane season concludes on paper. Let's break down this interesting, yet for now, mild season. So we've got about 12 storms that we have checked off of the list. Starting with Andrea, formed on June the 23rd. We went all the way down the first part of the list, and currently in the Atlantic we have Tropical Storm Lorenzo. That's our only active storm as of Monday afternoon. All of these have come and gone by the wayside with some pretty interesting tidbits along the middle. So let's take a look at what it's been at a glance. You can see these are the tracks in the Atlantic, and as of October 13th, we have had 12 named storms. 4 of them have developed into hurricanes, and 3 of them major hurricanes, and that is Umberto, Gabrielle, and Aaron as well. Aaron and Umberto. This is Aaron and this is Umberto. Those are the sole Category 5 hurricanes as well. But if you look at these tracks, you can notice 2 kind of themes along here. One of them is some of them just came and gone by the wayside. This is Karen up here. Was a subtropical storm just a couple of days ago, and there was one that you'll see in a moment, Tropical Storm Barry. But then you see a lot of these starting in the open Atlantic, curving up and just missing the Atlantic coast of the United States as well, which I'll talk about in a moment, why the steering has been just right for some interest in the United States. Also, there hasn't been any activity in the Gulf at all. Just this one, Barry, which I was talking about, made landfall in late June, early July. That's the only one that was there. And there's a reason why there has been no activity really in the Gulf, which I'll mention in just a little bit. 12 named storms, though, in total. The average, we're just at about 12.2 at this time of year. So we've had 12 tropical storms, 3 major hurricanes. The only one that made landfall, Tropical Storm Chantal in July, that made landfall as a tropical storm. We haven't had a hurricane make landfall, and that'll be the first time if this concludes that way since 2015, 10 years ago. So why has it been so quiet, especially in the Gulf? There have been some key ingredients that have been missing. First off, wind shear has been very, very high, especially in this area, and that knocks off the tops of thunderstorms. It's bad for storm development. Also, remember how over the last couple of weeks here, we've been in persistent high pressure. It's part of an omega blocking pattern where high pressure just stagnates and the rest of the weather flows around it. And the tropical Gulf is part of that omega blocking pattern too, just a little bit further south. So there just hasn't really been a lot to it or a lot been able to develop as well. But with that aside, let's talk about some of the interesting tidbits as well. Like I mentioned, Andrea formed on June 23rd. That was the latest start to a hurricane season since 2014, 11 years ago. This one we covered on Weather 101. Umberto and Imelda, just 465 miles apart. Not only was that the shortest distance between hurricanes in the satellite era, it also triggered something called the Fujiwara effect, which you can check on the Weather 101 page. Also, Subtropical Storm Karen, the only subtropical storm, was the furthest hurricane to form in the northern hemisphere on record. This is all the way back to the 1850s, almost 200 years of evidence there. But climatologically, there's about 15% more hurricane season activity after today's date. You could see on this graph that peak being about September 10th. This is where we are right now. We have until November 30th when the season comes to an end. But that season can come to an end later. For the next 7 days, though, the Hurricane Center does not have any specific areas they're watching for development. For Weather 101, I'm Gavin Sandell.